The 162-game marathon is complete. Now it's time for the sprints that is October baseball on a warm day at the Ravine. Game 1 of the National League Division Series between the Dodgers and San Diego Padres, and there's plenty of news on that man, Freddie Freeman. So let's get it on. First pitch right here in 60 minutes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Leadoff LA. John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parr, Oral Hershiser. We got a live band. We've got a rockin' crowd as well. But I imagine for all of you guys, this is when you really miss playing the game. It's October. It's playoff time.
Absolutely. Listen, there is nothing like postseason baseball. It's pitch to pitch. The best way I can describe it, it's like a college football atmosphere every single pitch. The intensity is second to none. Players can't wait to go out there and perform.
Yeah, we get asked that question an awful lot. Do you miss it? And oftentimes when you think about the grind, you're like, no, but I definitely miss it when postseason comes along, because this is really when it's all about, we talk about over 162 games. It culminates from moments like this. This is what you want to be in. This is the atmosphere. This is the feeling that you want to be a part of. So absolutely, these are the days you miss.
For me, personally, I miss holding the baseball. I don't miss watching my teammates on the field. That is the most nerve-wracking thing, to not have control. I want to have control over the ball. I want the do or die with me. I want to be responsible, whether I've got rest or no rest, whether I'm semi-hurt or I'm feeling great. You want the ball in this situation.
Well, I know you always love taking the ball. You were always ready. I think all these fans are ready for game 1 here tonight. We know the Padres won the season series from the Dodgers for the first time in 14 years. They won 8 out of the 13 meetings, outscoring the Dodgers by almost a half run per game. They hit 16 homers to the Dodgers 11. San Diego really had the clutch hits, which this series will likely come down to. They hit 270 with runners in scoring position. The Dodgers only 202. Dodgers starting pitching also not very good. The ERA over 4.6, and you see the bullpens were mostly even. Now, we remember just 2 years ago, the Dodgers were 14-5 against the Padres in the regular season. Then they got bounced quickly in the NLDS. Oral, I remember your 1988 team. You guys were dominated all year by the Mets, and then you beat them in 7 games in the NLCS. So I'll begin with you. Does the regular season series have any bearing at all on these next 5 games?
It doesn't mean anything. Maybe those last couple games when the Dodgers fell down 1 and then won the next 2 to win the series. But no, I don't think it has anything to do with it. This is a moment-by-moment, present tense game. The regular season is a marathon, and they can catch you when you're down, they can catch you when you're hot. Now is the time to be hot.
Yeah, I agree with Oral. It really doesn't have any bearing. I mean, we just talked about, you're facing the Padres and how it's just kind of worked out. You saw that over a couple years ago. So even if you have the best record in baseball, all of that just kind of sets up, okay, what the matchup is going to be like, whether you're going to get the bye now and the way it's situated as well as far as the format. But it really doesn't matter. Postseason is a different animal. We have said that all along. It's a different feeling. It's a different vibe. It's a different, as far as pressure that you're feeling and understanding and how you embrace it. So, yeah, that's in the past. Now you got to take care of business now.
Listen, the regular season, yes, is important, but there's nothing like postseason baseball, because you attack things, approach things a whole lot differently in the postseason. So you try to line up your rotation like we have. So the regular season games, who cares about the records? Who cares what you did in that regular season? It's all about making sure you execute now when these games really count.
All right, let's get our first look at Dave Roberts' lineup for Game 1 against San Diego Padres right-hander Dylan Cease. You've got Shohei Ohtani leading it off in his first career postseason game, followed by Mookie Betts. Freddie Freeman, bum, ankle, and all. He is in there, batting third. Teoscar Hernandez in the cleanup spot. Max Muncy will bat fifth. Will Smith does the catching. Gavin Lux is at second. Tommy Edman starting in center. Miguel Rojas will play shortstop with Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers tonight. And for all the talk about how the Dodgers can navigate that 5-day layoff to keep guys in a rhythm, keep them ready, those 5 days off, hugely important for one Freddie Freeman, who badly sprained his ankle here against the Padres that last week of the regular season. Let's head inside the stadium for the first time. Kirsten Watson joins us live, and she's got the latest on the Dodgers All-Star first baseman. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, for Freddie Freeman, he not only had the 5 days of the first round bye, but also 3 days without going with the team to Colorado. He was able to use those to not only to use that swelling on that ankle to allow that to come down, but to put himself to be in a good spot to be ready for game one. There was still a question mark early today, but he is in the lineup. Dave Roberts talked about him, what he's going to be doing, and also so did Freddie Freeman yesterday after he got through his baseball activity.
They told me this is a 4 to 6 week IL stint, and I'm going to try and do this in a week and play. So, but I feel I'm not going to be hindering. I don't think there's just going to be certain plays where like the slowing down stuff. So I can't thank Bernard Lee, our our whole training staff of getting me able to do this. So yeah, so I would say this is, I mean, I did play with a broken finger, but I would say this is, I've never sprained an ankle before, so that was the hardest thing I didn't know, and they say your first sprained ankle is the worst. But they said this is 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm going to do it in a week.
I talked to him this morning, and there was still some soreness, and so we're trying to weigh the fact of being in there versus how effective he can be. Nothing, it's just more of kind of how he's feeling. So again, that's why I'm trying to wait as long as I can to see and go through his pre-workout and pre-game stuff.
When Freddie says he's trying to come back in a week from a 4 to 6 week rehab on an injury, how concerned does that make you that, probably not a great idea to play this guy right now?
Yeah, that's why I think that there's a lot of hesitation, because it is a couple week thing for sure, a few week thing. With him, obviously, he's determined and wants to exhaust every potential possibility for him to play. So those are things, yeah, Barry, you got to weigh the fact that, penciling in the name Freddie Freeman versus how, effective he can be right now and the cost of ensuing games. So those are things that we're talking about, obviously, with the training stuff. Absolutely.
So as much as there were some question marks earlier in the day with if Freddie Freeman was going to be in the lineup, when it came out, he is in there. He's batting third, playing at first base. Yesterday, when he finished up doing his drills, he came in and he told the media, they were waiting to talk to him, of course, and he said, I feel good. He had a smile on his face, and then afterwards, he said, look, he's been putting in a lot of work to put himself in a position to be able to be out there to help his team win this series and go on to win the World Series. So he's out there. He's feeling good to go. There might be a few just kind of not necessarily hindrances, but just being mindful of him playing over there at first base. If there's a bunt situation, they might do something different to make sure Freddie's not kind of overextending himself, running in and having to get back to first base. So we might see a few changes there, but ultimately he's out there and he's feeling good to go, guys.
Well, certainly great news, Kirsten, because about 2 or 3 hours ago, we weren't sure it wasn't looking so great for Freddie Freeman. We'll check back with you in just a few minutes. And we heard Freddie Freeman mention it, Nomar. He was told this would normally be a 4 to 6 week IL stint. Obviously, the Dodgers and Freddie Freeman don't have that kind of time. He's trying to come back a little over a week since injuring that ankle. Even at 80%, he's hoping that he can still be productive, whatever percentage he's at.
Yeah, I mean, at this point of the season, we always talk about nobody feels 100%. Yeah. So that's not what you're looking for. You're just looking for, are you in a position to be able to go out there and play and deal with the pain and realize, are we doing any long-term damage to any body part that may be ailing him? So obviously, he has the sprained ankle. It's going to be tough. Is he going to be hindered? Absolutely, he's going to be hindered. We know that. Everybody knows that. And we heard Kirsten talk about it like, okay, maybe the bunt defense. Sometimes you're talking about, okay, pitchers, you let them know what they're going to have to cover as far as that's concerned. You're also talking to your second baseman a little bit, and also for your range. When I really look at it, your range will be hindered as well because you can't explode to the base as a first baseman to go cover. So now you're playing closer to the base. We also won't see Freddie maybe taking that extra base also in the base pass. One of the things that Freddie is so good at doing is taking that extra base. He's one of those guys that is an excellent base runner. It's not always about stealing the base, but an unbelievable guy getting the extra base.
The mental side for me is where I'm going to go, not just the physical side, because the Dodgers have all these high expectations. Freddie has high expectations because of what happened with him and Mookie last year. And I would say that less is more now, right? So he can get out of his head and know my expectations are a lot lower because of this possible injury, this naggingness that's there. So a little less effort, a little staying more within himself, and those big situations hit, he's going to go, you know what? My strength is left center. My strength is contact. My strength is working the count and getting on base. And Freddie Freeman, if he can do those basics in the big pressure situations, that's key.
Absolutely. And Oral, you touched on it last night. You know, that right ankle, that's his plant foot, plant leg, because you need that to post as you're a left-hand hitter. So I'm anxious to see how explosive he is at the plate if he's able to go out there and drive the baseball. We know Fred Freeman, when he's out there, he's going to play the game out of 100%. Now, 80% as far as your body, 100% mentally. I'm anxious to see his at-bats tonight.
Just great to see Freddie Freeman giving it a go tonight for the Dodgers at first base. We are just getting started here on Leadoff LA. The Dodgers skipper alone in his thoughts right now. Dave Roberts, 45 postseason wins. That ranks 6th all-time in baseball history. The 2024 postseason road begins at 5:30. Game 1, Dodgers and Padres. Plus the guessing.
チミシーズン、ドジャスの大悟翔平投手が成し遂げた50本取りで内野安打50同取りで50-50という歴史的な記録は単に達成されたというだけでなく、その数字が54本取りで第59同取りで2まで伸びたことで、さらに大きな驚きと称賛を集めました。アメリカのデータ会社コーディファイベースボールは、これまでに50本取りで大以上を記録した選手の同取りで数を比較したデータを X セキュツイッターで公開し、大コニが圧倒的な1位を記録したことを発表。これに対する反響は非常に大きく、ファンや専門家から続々と驚きの声が上がっています。コーディファイが投稿したデータによると、シーズンで50本取りで大以上を達成した選手の中で中取りデー数が1位だったのは戸郷翔平の59同取りで、これに続くのは1955年にウィリー・メイズが記録した24同取りで、2007年のアレックス・ロドリゲスの20同取りでです。その後4位には1996年のブレイディ・シアンダーソンの21同取りでが続き、5位以下には1998年のケン・グリフィー JR 21同取りで、2001年のアレックス・ロドリゲスと1998年のサミ・ソーサ・コミャニ17同取りで、さらに1921年のベーブ・ルースなど取りで、2022年のエーロン・ジャッジ16同取りでなどが命を懸ねています。すでに大尾根が50-10-50を達成した時点で、彼が利大注意であることは明白でしたが、驚くべきはそのシュートリで数の圧倒的な差です。2位のメイズとロドリゲスを合わせても同取りデー数は48であり、大工の50中同取りデーとは11の差がついています。この仕事は他の偉大な選手たちが成し遂げた記録をもってしても、大コニのパフォーマンスがいかに一次元であるかを突き釣りにしています。この正義的なデータが公開された後、ファンや専門家からは驚きと称賛の声が次々と寄せられました。彼、投手でもあるんだよね。50本取りで大に加えて20度取りででもすごいのに、大物はさらに59度取りでもしているなんて信じられない。間違いなく史上最高の選手だ。7億ドルの契約なんてむしろ姉すぎるくらいだという声が多く上がり、彼の逃げとに対する評価はとどまることを知りません。大悟は単なるパワーヒッターにとどまらず、そのスピードとベースランニングの巧みさでも他の選手たちを圧倒しています。通常パワーがあり50本取りで達を記録する選手は総取りでにおいてはそれほど目立たないことが多いですが、大悟にはその常識を打ち盛りました。彼は大気面でも総取りで面でも最高峰の成績を残し、メジャーリーグの新たな基準を打ち立てています。特にチマ取りでに関してはその成功率の高さも注目すべき点です。お道後には無視9度取りでのうち失敗したのはわずかしかい。成功率は93.9% という驚異的な数字をくごっています。これにより彼のベースランニングの判断力やスピードがいかに優れているかがよくわかります。大古翔平のこのシーズンの記録は今後も長く語り継がれることになるでしょう。ムジブゴチという年代身分の異魚のに加え、その同取りで層の圧倒的な差が彼が他の選手たちと一線を離す存在であることを証明しています。彼のような選手はメジャーリーグ史上でも非常に石であり、その才能はもはやスポーツの枠を超えて世界中のファンにインパクトを与え続けています。 これからも大谷翔平がどのような新たな記録を打ち立てていくのか、彼の次なる挑戦に対する期待は高まるばかりです。彼の活躍は野球という経済をさらに進化させ、その命を歴史に永遠に刻むことでしょう。